A big welcome back, everybody. Thanks for supporting my channel and for all of you that have made comments. They're really encouraging. At the end of the last video, we discovered this post. The top layer of blocks, the mortar had come loose and it was filled with soil. Why? I have no idea. Anyway, in today's video we have to move this enormous boulder. The line of the paving will go across here. At some point in the rains this boulder actually rolled. So the project today is to actually dig out a hole and move this. So first let's get started on this post. You can see that the blocks are actually loose. They are very heavy, they're solid. You can also see some of the mortar that was just put on top of the soil. So basically I'm just removing all of that first. Luckily the soil itself didn't go all the way down to the bottom. That would have been incredibly difficult for me to dig out, but it was just filled with hardcore or pieces of concrete, tile, usual junk really. Once all the blocks were removed, it was then time to start actually cleaning up the mortar on the top so that I could reset these blocks in place and hopefully reinforce them a little bit. It gets dark pretty early here in Japan compared to the UK. This is the early summer, about a month ago. Having mixed up some mortar, it was time to start putting the blocks back in place, making sure they're all level. It's not an easy job on your own, but yeah, it just takes a bit of time. As I'd said in my previous video, if I'd known that this post was hollow, I would have actually drilled through at the bottom and run the electrics up through the centre for the post cap light. But unfortunately I didn't know that, so I'd already run the cable up along the outside of this post. So yeah, there's no going back now. Having put all the blocks in place and checking that they were straight, it was then time just to do a little bit of pointing, which is like cleaning up the joints where the mortar is. Not easy, just takes time, and to be honest, I've never done this before. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe, do all that usual like and bell stuff if you're interested. Thanks a lot. While you're watching this, I thought I'd give you a quick update on why it's taken a while for me to post these videos. Unfortunately, just after this, my camera, which I used to film these, which was on a tripod, actually blew over. The whole thing went over and the camera itself smashed to the ground. I use basically like a little sports camera. It's not a GoPro, but anyway, it took a tumble, and when I tried to turn it back on, all I got on the screen was a white screen. I thought I could probably repair it, so I took it apart, but everything is so small nowadays, I could hardly see the parts with my poor eyes, so I had to order another camera, and yeah, that's basically why it's taken me a while to make any videos and put them together and edit them, etc. Anyway, that's that. And the following day it was time to work a little bit on the second post, just taking off the old mortar from the top. You can see that the temperature dropped quite a bit, a change of clothing. There's no way I could wear that now. It's up in the mid 30 degrees, so it's t-shirts time. Luckily this post is a bit more solid, so I don't have to worry about repairing it at all. It's just a case of taking off that top layer. Just to explain my thoughts on this post top, I'm a little bit worried that because it's hollow as well, that if I try to lift the caps up, that these blocks may actually move again, although the mortar's fairly solid. So my idea is to actually put some rebar into each of these blocks to kind of tie it together when I put the mortar on the top. Hopefully this will give it a little bit more strength and help hold it all together. So just using a masonry drill bit, which is made for drilling kind of concrete and stone, I'm just drilling some holes into the top of these blocks and then actually cementing in some rebar to the correct height. And I thought while I'm at it I should do the other post as well. So again I'm just drilling into the tops of these and then inserting some rebar to try and hold this together a little bit better. It's just so quiet out here. You can see the lane in front of the property. Most days when I'm here I don't see anybody. I don't see any trucks go past, I don't see any cars or even people on foot. Occasionally in the evenings there's a lady with her 2 dogs who walks past, but the nearest main road is probably about 2 kilometers, probably a mile away. So there's not even any traffic noise, just me making noise I guess. And on to the second part of the video. This boulder is in the way of the paving line. First thing I need to do is to actually dig out this area behind the boulder. It's turning out to be a lot harder than I expected, mainly because if you look just to the right of me, there's actually a tree. So occasionally I come across some big roots that I need to take out as well to be able to move the boulder properly. That should be enough. Next up, it's time to attach. I have a hand winch and some straps. So the plan is to actually use a tree on the other side of the road to pull this boulder into this hole. And here we go. Just a little bit to dig out. And thankfully that should be enough. Wow, what a hard job. The next step is to dig out this area around this second post. I actually need to run a power cable round the back of this. Of course it needs to be in conduit under the ground, so I need access to the back of this post. And anytime I do any of this digging, you'll notice Dash comes along and he has a good nibble. I'm not sure what it is that he finds so attractive, but there's obviously something in the soil that he likes eating. As I continue to dig this out, you'll obviously be able to see just how bad the edge of this paving is. As I've said earlier, there's no soldier blocks along the edge to actually hold anything in place. Which basically means anytime someone steps on a block near the edge here, it just collapses. Coming back to the post caps, here I'm just cutting a slot on the underside of each cap around the edge. So in case you're wondering what this slot is for, when it rains, the rain itself goes over the edge of the post cap and runs down the face of the post. So basically by cutting a slot, the water or the rain runs over the post cap, and instead of going down the face, it actually drips a little bit away from the face itself. So stay tuned for the next video where we've moved from a bit of a disaster to the caps and the lights being installed and some of the paving completed along the edge. Once again, thanks to everybody for watching. It's much appreciated. Have a good one, and I hope to see you again soon.